We're live. Hey guys, it's Troncoso back at it again with another live happy new year. We are locked in, we are dialed in, we are stepped up, we are gonna stomp on this. Hit the pedal, hit the gas, no brakes. We are here. Okay. See, that was a ding that made you realize we are not playing. We're not playing. We're not. So let's talk about it. I dropped the video on Monday and we talked about what does it really mean to be that person that speaks with power, be that person that speaks with authority, with energy. Like you are that person. That's not a play. That's not a game. We don't play that. So if you're joining live or you're watching the replay, I'm glad that you're here because the thing about this is you cannot level up unless you go through lessons. Some of those lessons are attached to losses, and those losses will only come with reps, with replays of your actions, of your speaking, of your doing. But the thing about that is you need to do it. You need to do it scared. You need to do it half. You need to do it anyway. And a lot of us don't do that. A lot of us don't. And the problem is we think that we can impose that upon our students because we have authority over them. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. Like you cannot think that because they're a student, they're going to understand that. You're not even regulated as a 30, 40, 60. Like you're not regulated. How are you expecting a 16-year-old to do that? So, hey, I'll stop crashing out. The video just started. So let me talk about this, right? If you're a student, educator, school leader, this conversation is not about blame. I'm not blaming you. I'm sorry if you think that I'm blaming you, but I'm not. I'm trying to highlight something for you. I'm trying to put something under a microscope, like let you pick apart this. It's kind of like when I was talking to my students, I had a lesson called Red Flags. PowerPoint, they're like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, yeah, you're the type of person that would say this person is an 8, but like they don't brush their teeth. This person is a 10, but they have anger issues. So when we flipped the script and I taught about speech and debate, it's like you would have been in first place, but you did X, Y, and Z. You made novice mistakes. You made struggle errors. You did that. You would have gotten the 90% on the test, but you didn't eat a sandwich. And we know you need to eat. You don't do well, but that's the thing. You need emotional awareness. You need that. And awareness is not some buzzword of like, oh my gosh, it's just flimsy. No. You need to have strategy. You need to have systems. You need to operate well, because otherwise you'll work at a system. You'll work at your speaking. You'll work at your assignments. You'll work at classroom discourse. You'll work on a lot of things and realize that you're going to fall below the mark because you are falling below the mark because you are falling below the mark. Hear me. Because you didn't eat breakfast. Because you didn't have your workout in the morning. Because someone pissed you off. And that 10 seconds turned into 10 days of mourning and anger and frustration. Because you didn't sleep. Because somehow 3 hours is enough for you. It's enough, maybe, but it's not optimal. Trust me, I know. I went through a lot of time where I would just be able to like do this on 3 hours of sleep with all the energy, but like there's a clear difference between 3 hours and 8. My students saw it. My colleagues saw it. The people that I stewarded with their schools saw it. It was evident. It was evidence that I need to get better at this. So make sure you understand this is not about assigning blame, oh no, hoopla, all the things. This is about clarity, systems. This is not just fluff. I could motivate you, yay, and you don't do anything the next day. That's not my assignment. That's not what I do. I travel around the world literally talking to people about what do you do to make your emotions a system. Your speaking is a system. Whether you're a speaker, whether you're an actor, whether you're a student, whether you're a mother, whether you're just trying to get to tomorrow, I am doing this from a systematic view and teaching people how to speak with power. Because if you know how to speak with power, which is again is it's an abbreviation, it's a acronym. I was looking for the right A word, but if you do so, you're gonna frolic. You're gonna be phenomenal because when you have a system tied to things, you execute without emotions. You move without mourning that thing that didn't work out that other time, your past, your frustrations, your now, that moment that happened in the bus. Systems make you move with fuel, not fear and not feeling. And that's what we need to talk about. So I dropped this video this week called Why Fear is Destroying Student Performance. Students, I'm just being honest. Educators, I'm just being honest. Leaders, I'm just being honest. Fear destroys student performance. Emotions get in the way of execution. So we got to talk about it. We do. And instead of repeating the video, I want to use this live to answer the real question. What do we actually do with this information in schools? What's the reason you would hire me to go to your school? What's the reason that your school needs to get better at communication? We're going to speak about this. So let me answer that with a question. And I want to set this. Drop it in the chat or in the comments if this is a replay. Have you ever had a student who clearly knew the answer, but wouldn't speak? They knew it. They thought it. I mean, they even probably frustratedly said, I was going to say that, but they didn't say that. They didn't say that. So because they didn't say that, they didn't get the credit. I mean, okay, one assignment, one class, it's fine, I guess. But then they didn't get the right grade. Then they didn't get the scholarship. Then they didn't get into the college of their choice. Then they didn't get the job. Then they squandered what they could have done because they didn't say it. They knew the answer, but they didn't say it. So it all boils down because it's root, not just fruit. It's root. It's the main cause, the foundational issue, the struggle, the thing that is going to change the ROI of your company, your organization, your school. It's going to make people either thrive or sink. Is this: do they know the answer, but they don't communicate it? Do they know the answer, but they don't speak it? Do they know the right way to act, but they don't? I have it in my mind. Is it in action? Because to be honest, people don't really care what you have to say if you only have it in your mind, because they never heard you say it. So I mean, why would they care? Why would it matter? Unless you took a chance on yourself and said what you needed to say. So that's something that you need to ask for the students. Or maybe you were that student. Maybe you are that student. Maybe this is you right now. And it's like, I have so many thoughts. I saw that coming. I felt it in my gut, in my chest, my spirit. It's like, well, I mean, you need to do it, though. I'm scared. Well, do it scared. I could just stop the video right now. But it really is that. You need a system to do this, because in order to do it scared, you need to do it with that system in place that puts your feelings in the backseat and tricks up this system that allows you to execute. And we've been teaching this for a long time. I mean, The high school course is going to be rolled out in the next couple of months. We have an elementary school course that's also being developed as we speak, but like this is literally what you need. What can happen, how you move. You need to be systematic about it. You need to be aligned. So here's the one idea I want us to ground us in. Fear is not the emotion that you want to have commandeer your life. Because it's not just emotional, it's instructional. In school, fear teaches students when I, stay quiet, I'm safe. It's going to be just fine. That's not what we can do. Because at the end of the day, schools are going to learn that students are being taught through fear when to stay quiet, when to disappear, and when it's safer not to try. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to look like you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Because we don't name it, fear becomes the hidden curriculum. You got your setups, your strategies, but at the end of the day, what lives with the student more? What lives with the colleague more? It's fear. Silence isn't neutral. Silence trains students how to survive. Because if I don't try, I don't fail. And maybe that's safer than failing. So let me tell you about a student I worked with. I mean, this happens all the time. Um, you know, I get students, we turn CD students into, world class speakers. I mean, even from a teenager perspective, it's amazing to see. Scholarships, a lot. And then there are students that have high grades. But I had a student in ninth grade, that had high grades, top of her class. Sharp thinker, quiet to herself. And, teachers are like, they're just shy. You can work with her, she's a great student. But what I noticed was the times that they did speak is they like didn't exactly know where to put their words. And not only that, there were some things that she had revealed emotionally that made me realize speaking is hard. So we worked with her. And she's like in her second year of college right now. But the problem wasn't confidence. Hear me. The problem was they didn't know what to do when fear showed up. Everything is fine until you're put in the battlefield. Everything is fine until she has to compete or she has to like perform or she has to like audition for a college. We talk about acting, showing her portfolio. Everything is fine until you have to talk about yourself, until you have to talk about what you do, about who you are. So we didn't motivate them. Motivation is flimsy. Motivation is good, but it's like temporary. We didn't hype them up either. We trained them because being able to do this is skill. It's the same fear, but it's a different response. It's a system. You need something practical to be powerful. So I want to check in with everybody. Drop a one if you see fear show up as silence. I'm gonna go run it when I run it back. If for those that are like, I don't know, this isn't live. Put it in the chat, and I'll know what you mean when you do this. Drop it at one if you see fear show up as silence. Drop a two if you see it show up as behavior. Because you can learn how fear moves, and you can adopt that. You move with fear so much you don't move. Drop a three if you see it show up as disengagement. Educators, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you because sometimes you're just like, that student just doesn't care about my lessons. I mean, they might just be scared. None of those are discipline problems. Hear me. None of those are discipline problems. their communication gaps. Again, I know the answer. That doesn't mean I can communicate it properly. Test scores take a hit. They are not able to do all the things successfully. I mean, again, running it back. That moment that they didn't answer in class turns into the job they lost, the opportunities they never got, the doubt that just grows because they think they're inadequate. And it's like, no, you just never articulated what you already know. Teaching's one thing, but like if you taught it and they got it, but they didn't do it, then like that doesn't really do much. You need to be practical. You can't just be all in your head. We all know this. I had a student that thought they were like going to be the best basketball player, like in the school, and then turned into trying to be the best basketball player in the city and possibly hit for the NBA. And as a coach, I'm like, I mean, you know, I'm not a master at basketball, but I'm like, bro, I don't see you practice. I mean, I already see how it. Yeah, but like you're trash. You're trash because you don't practice. How would I know that you're good at basketball? I don't think you are. I'll smoke you, and I'm not good at basketball because you don't practice. It's all in your mind, it's all in your thoughts. You think you're good. How do I know? Where is the work behind the faith? Where is the work behind the mindset? Where is the work behind the. You don't do it. So when it comes to test scores, I'm a terrible test taker. I mean, I don't think you are. I just really feel like you haven't really communicated what the problem is. So we can't help you. And then when you sit in front of the test, you have testing anxiety because those anxieties were never communicated. It just stayed in there. You didn't talk to anybody. So of course you're going to fail the exam. You didn't talk to anybody. The time when we had the turn-in talks or we wanted to encourage student discourse, you didn't talk because you thought, I don't want to talk. Maybe my ideas are stupid. But isn't that what school's about? About workshopping through ideas, being able to speak, being able to fail so you can get better? Or are we just demonizing works in progress? You're so focused on making sure your school is number one. You don't allow them to be terrible first before they become phenomenal. That is something at the leadership and really the educator level we got to fix because I have been guilty of that as well. Trust, again, no blame. I get it. I'm only saying this in love because I know it. I get it. But they're not us. They need help. They need to move. They need to be authentic and articulate properly. Like it's just you can't do it. So this is how we apply the power framework, right? It's not a speech tool. Again, it's a student survival system. Student is not just a kid. It's a strategy. It's you need to understand it's everybody involved. If you learn, you're a student. If you teach, you're an educator. I mean, at the simplest form, obviously we can go into dynamics and yes, but like you need to understand everyone. This framework applies to everybody. Power. P stands for presence, which is teaching students how to stay grounded instead of panicking. How am I showing up? If I'm showing up scared to a test, I'm not going to pass it. Even if I pass it, it's not going to be as good as I could have done it. I've had tests where I show up nervous as heck, get a 49. I show up, I'm confident. Didn't study, got a 74. I show up nervous, I studied, 65. This is accounting when I was in college. Showed up confident and I studied, 103. It's not rocket science, people. It's a shift. Always ownership, helping them take responsibility for their message, not approval. Let them express their message, their being, they're moving, they're human beings, they are being. How are they? And can they own the fact that they're pissed? Can they own the fact that they're frustrated? Can they own the fact that they're happy, but they don't want to express it? Because like maybe some people misconstrue it for something else. Let them own that. W is wavelength, teaching connection instead of perfection. I don't need you to be all perfect. Connect with the room. They're frustrated. Be frustrated. Understand it's okay. Feel their frustration. Empathy, sympathy, like connect. It's good to connect. You just can't stay there. You need to uplift. If the room is naturally energetic, then do your best. But you need to do that because that's how you connect in the room. And then E, energy. This is emotional regulation, not hype. Be powered up. Absolutely. But be emotionally whole. Where is your energy? Have you checked it? Are you self aware to know where are you with your energy? What do you have to give to the rooms that you are in? If you're asked to perform, perform. And R is resonance. Confidence forming after action. And what do you leave the room with? But in order to leave the room with something, you have to do something in the room. So what are you doing? So confidence is not something we demand. It's something we build. You can't just be like, oh, I'll do this when I'm more confident. You're not going to become more confident just by automatically thinking you're going to be more confident. That's not how this works at all. But I'm just saying, I really think we need to really build this because it's a system. The only way you're going to be able to do this repeatedly with excellence and power is by doing this consistently. So for schools, this means you speak under pressure instead of waiting to be confident. Instead of be confident, speak. Get up and raise your hand. It's like, okay, well, speaking under pressure is a skill you should teach. Name the fact that they're scared. I am scared. No, you are. This is perfectly fine. Trust me. Trust. I understand it. That needs to be said, and you need to feel safe to feel scared, and it's okay. And you're not staying that way. But if I don't name it, you're gonna climb to the top, and it's not gonna be sustaining. You'll get like a 97, and then you'll go 40, 50, 90, 80. Where's your grades? I don't know. But if you do lock in on the system, you get stronger classroom discourse, you get increased participation because they'll want to share more, better explanations on tests, like they'll be able to work out their thoughts because they actually express them. And students advocate for themselves. They get to speak. You get more discourse. Yay. Like, this isn't extra. This is foundational. This is non-negotiable. It isn't. We are not mediocre. You are not mediocre. You are not mediocre. You don't get to be. You are on assignment to do your best. In school, you are on assignment to do your best for your students, for your peers. You are on assignment to lead with that power. And the only way to do that is understanding that at the base, you need to regulate and empower people. So with that being said, look, if you're a student watching this, you're not broken. Trust me, you are not broken. You're untrained. You just don't got the skill because it hasn't been worked on, not because you don't have it in your soul. You just need to practice. If you're an educator, your students don't need more encouragement. Stop barking at them. They need a system. Give them physicals. Not physicals like medical. Okay. Give them physical things to do, rubrics, scaffolds, but also for like emotional expression, regulation. This is not just something you relegate to like one department. You need to be the person that can help with that. And also for yourself so that you can have a more holistic powerhouse classroom. And if you're a school leader, fear is already shaping your culture. You see it. You see the dumpster fires. You're just, not choosing to do something about it. Or maybe you think you need to find some strategy to make this all work out, but you just don't know what to do. The question is, are you shaping the fear that you want to get rid of? Again, no blame. But we need to course correct because you are that leader that's powerful. You are that leader that can get it done. We know this. It's why you're in that position that you are in. You can do this. It's easy to pivot and make it happen, but it has to be intentional. So if this resonated, pop up and watch that Monday video. Share with a colleague. Start the conversation you're building. Share this video right now. And Remember this. We do not eliminate fear. I don't want to eliminate fear because it's real. It's an emotion. Like, you are emotional. That completely understands. But we do not eliminate fear. We teach students to speak with power. And if that means you have to do it scared, so be it. So do it scared.